Hey everyone, Chef Anthony here at Dawn's Appliances. Today we're talking about the Gaggenau appliances. We're going to go over the convection wall oven. So, the gray on glass look is great. If you're familiar with the Gaggenau brand, you're really going to see this, iconic two dials. And, really the push to open is, everything. So this is the kind of convenience and, just the quality and craftsmanship in the Gaggenau appliances. It's just, by far, you're going to spend a lot, but, there is a ton of value. And, check out the inside, the cobalt blue interior, you got the chef's lighting on each side. Even this is just taking it to another level. The bake stone, if we pull it out right here, see how it plugs right into the back here, so it actually heats the bake stone up with an element underneath the stone. So really we get quality pizzas, craftsmanship stuff. We could even do cookies on here, artisan bread, things like that. So think about that. And then there's a hole in the corner left right here. That's our spot for a rotisserie. So there's a rotisserie attachment for this as well. So that motor is built right in to do rotisserie. So it's another great piece. I'm going to really walk through, some of the functions and some of the settings in the Gaggenau, and really this by far, there's 18 settings, and you could probably, refer to your manual for, majority of them. But at any time, there's an eye in the corner right here. That's the information button. So if you hit that eye, it'll really give you a synopsis or like what is happening in the setting you chose. So always on the left is really where we set our settings. This is kind of where we go. First one to turn on the light. Second one will really give us our convection. And this is really our true convection. And then, the farthest right is really where we dial in the precise temperature. So you would really dial this in, and this is the preheat sign. So anytime you see something orange, it means it's activated. So that's our preheat. And then here's the drop down for our rotisserie. So if we hooked our rotisserie up, we would hit that button, drop down, and the rotisserie motor would run. So this is really true convection. So this is multi-use convection. Anytime there's more than one item in here, that's really the setting we're going to use. If we do like 3 trays of cookies for the holidays, you got a bunch of pies, anytime there's more than one item, that's the setting we're really going to go with. So we'll hit the next one. So this is economy hot air. So this is really a convection setting that uses low power mode. So if you're in other states and things like that, you notice the lighting goes off in the oven. So in economy mode, the chef's light will go off, and then you can transfer the time to what you want. Anytime you turn the knob on the right at the time, that'll period on that light. So that's the economy mode. Next, really, we're talking top and bottom heat. If we don't need any convection, we're going to do something in like a hot water bath or where there's open liquid in there. So we're really just getting the top and bottom heat. Again, adjust that as desired. So look at this. So this is unique too. Gaggenau is really the only ones that do this. So it's a third of the bottom heat. So this is really focusing on more heat on the top. So you got 30% more heat on the top and a little bit of heat on the bottom. This is for things that are not as high walled and thin. So like that, we pipe out that meringue. We need it to brown, but we want it to cook on the bottom as well. So think about delicate pastries, meringues, fruit tarts, things of that sort. This is the culinary experience in Gaggenau. So you can see that. This is just our top heat. We'll just get a broil out of this one, okay? And then you have the flip, so you have a third on the bottom and the top. That's exactly the reversal that we talked about. If we did a thick sponge cake or a torte cake or maybe even a tray of brownies that are denser and really need more heat from the bottom and just a little bit of heat on the top to finish, that's kind of the ideal setting for that. And once again, you're not going to find this in any other place on the land other than Gaggenau. Regular just bottom heat. This is your standard bake. This is kind of an iconic setting. It's not always going to be there. That's hot air and bottom heat. So that's really our convection bake mode. So if we hit the info on that, it'll give us the actual temperature for it too. So next, hot air and a third of the bottom. So this is super precise. This is really blowing that convection air around and just giving you slight heat on the bottom. So think about puff pastries, think about any decadent, like, you want to do spanakopittas, things like that. Anything that needs a volume but doesn't need to burn on the bottom. Your sugar cookies would be ideal for that at this time. Okay, so this is full surface grill. So this is circulated air. So you're really seeing the top icon. So that's a very high broil and convection. So think about that, and we could crank that all the way up too. So you're really going to get that high heat on the top if you see that full surface grill. So when Another one, so this is just all broil on there, okay? And then this is the compact version. This is for a smaller tray. If you have like maybe a third of a sheet tray, things like that, instead of wasting the space, heating up the sides, now you're just gonna really use the compact version. So if you only have like 2 pieces of toast or a smaller roast or tart that you wanna brown off, so maybe 4 to 6 inches in space, that's really where that's gonna lie right there, okay? All right, you see how the baking stone function, we talked about that earlier. This is the function for the baking stone. We'll plug that in and it will heat up the element. Okay, rotisserie function. So this is for a roasting pan. So Gaggenau has additional, additional things that they sell and require for it. A big roasting pan or your old style roaster with a lid. This really limits the convection because it tells us we have this roasting pan on. Really gonna work on top and bottom heat to kind of get that air circulating around a big roast or Sunday dinner, I like to call it. So think about that roast feature. Now, dough proofing, this is a great one as well. So this is really gonna hold to 100 degrees. This is where any dough is gonna double in size. Any yeast raised doughs, whether you're doing cinnamon rolls, you're doing French baguettes, you're doing challah bread or sourdough starter. This is really where it's gonna proof, and it really does a great job in the convection mode, moving that air around, holding the oven to that stable 100 degrees. So next is the defrosting setting. Now this is unique for an oven of this size to have a defrosting setting. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that proof at 100 degrees and slow down that convection mode and push that air through. It's really gonna help us to defrost, meats, chicken, or even like, frozen bread dough and things of that sort. So we have, enough cavity here. This is a unique piece that not a lot of appliances do in the 30-inch, okay? Think about that. And next, here's your keep warm setting. So this will function as a warming drawer. We could stage it down and up, whether we want to hold whatever temp, but it'll go down to 100 and, kind of all the way up to around 2 if I get up there. So, and that's really the kind of stage we want to be. So we can turn all of our cooked food into a warming drawer. So. Next, this is the self-cleaning mode. So there's a few of them here. So you just hit the blue check marks. Make sure the racks are removed. And it usually runs about maybe like a 1 to 2 hour cycle on that. So nice and easy on the self-clean as well. Then we go back to the top. And once again, that covers kind of all the functionality and kind of the uses for the Gaggenau wall oven. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video.